Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today we are on episode 92. And our guest today is Ruby Macamay. But before I bring her to the studio, let me introduce myself for those who doesn't know me. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. Okay, so let's dive in. So, like I mentioned, we are on episode 92. And today our guest is Ruby. Okay, so I'm going to be your host, Sandy Caballero. And today we have the pleasure of sitting down with a very special guest whose journey reflects perseverance, personal growth, resilience, and the courage to continue moving forward through life's many seasons. Our guest today, like I mentioned, is Ruby Espina Macamay. Ruby is a woman who has embraced growth, navigated challenges, and remained committed to becoming the best version of herself while supporting those around her. Today, we're going to learn more about her story, the experiences that shape her journey, and the lessons she has learned through challenges and change, and the wisdom she hopes to pass to others. So please join me and giving a warm welcome to Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you. It's my pleasure, Sandy, to one of your guests today. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ruby. Uh, so today we're gonna be asking Ruby a lot of questions, so you get to know her. So it's gonna be divided into segments. So we're gonna have segment number one, getting to know Ruby. Then we're gonna go into segment number two, the resilience journey. Then segment number three, family growth and leadership. Segment number four, embracing new possibilities. And lastly, wisdom for others. So those are the segments that we're going to be dividing our questions. So we're going to start with the segment number one. So let me just get into the interview. Okay. Okay. So the first question for you, Ruby. For those meeting you for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family?
Yes, hi everyone. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody doing well wherever you are. So good afternoon, good morning, and good uh, evening. So my name is Espina Macamay, and I'm originally from the Philippines and now living in Ontario, Canada. I'm a wife, a family-oriented woman, a full-time professional, and also a digital business owner and mentor. My family is one of my biggest reason why I continue to grow, dream bigger, and keep moving forward. So everything I do is not only for myself, but also for the people I love.
Thank you so much, this Ruby. So there you go. So we got to know a little bit more about Ruby. So moving on to the next question. So looking back, what were some of your dreams when you were younger?
Oh, that's a good question. So when I was younger, I dreamt of having a better life, not just financially, but a life with peace, stability, and freedom. So I wanted to be able to help my family travel the world. That's even since a younger, that's always my dream. Like I want to go to abroad, or go to to migrate elsewhere just to to see, to explore the world. So I like travel and then experience the beautiful places and create a future I didn't always have a worry about limitation. So I also have known exactly how it would be happen, but deep inside, I always believed there was more for me.
Thank you so much, Ruby. Yes, as a younger version of ourselves, we always dreaming. We always have those dreams, and we never know if it's gonna happen. But that's our wish, and yes, it will happen. We just have to have faith, and eventually will happen. So, thank you for sharing that. So the next question is, what experiences have had the biggest impact on shaping who you are today?
Oh, okay. So one of the biggest experiences that shaped me was starting over and learning how to build a life in different country. So from Philippines and then Canada. So being away from home and family teaches me strength, independence, patience, and resilience. So working hard, facing challenges, and still choosing to keep going shaped me into a woman I am today. It taught me that growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when we keep showing up, even when our life is not easy, even we're facing hardship or trials. Still, like it keeps me going.
Thank you so much, Sis Ruby. Yes, and I think a lot of immigrants, we relate to your story because, we come to a new country and then, we had dreams like, oh, like a better country, but then when we come, the reality is different, right? So we have to face challenges, but that's how, like you mentioned, that's what shape you, who you are today, because facing those challenges, you learn to have resilience and adaptability. So
Yeah,
those are skills that, that you can apply to your regular life. So
yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so the next question for you is, what values have guided you throughout your life journey?
Oh, the values that guide me are faith, family, hard work and humility, and especially gratitude. So I believe in treating people with kindness, staying teachable, and doing things with purpose. I also believe that success is not about what we achieve, but who we become along the way.
Yes, that's beautiful. I love the ending part of you. And yes, and in faith, yeah, faith plays a strong role in our journey. So for sharing that. So thank you for sharing that, Ruby. And it's always inspiring to hear how our experiences and values help shape the people we become. So now we're moving on to segment number two. So for segment number two, let's go into the first question. So we're talking about the resilience and journey. So what has been one of the most difficult challenges you face in your life?
Yeah, I know there are lots of it, but the one of the most difficult challenges I faced was building a life away from the comfort of my home and in my family. So starting over in a new place is not easy. There were moments of uncertainty, pressure, stress, and sacrifice. But those seasons taught me how to be strong. I am, really, I am. So they reminded me that even when life feels heavy, I can still keep moving forward one step at a time.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, for sure, like we like mentioned, like we all immigrants, we face those challenges, um coming to living our family, especially, like pretty sure like Latinos and Filipinos is the same, we have a very close family, we
Close
do
family
things
ties,
together.
yes.
Yes. Yeah, so when we come to a new country, we're just by ourselves, is we feel that whole, of your family, so it's hard. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the next question is, during that season, what helped you keep moving forward?
What helped me keep moving forward was my faith, my family, and the belief that my situation was not permanent. I kept reminding myself that every sacrifice had a purpose. I always focused on what I could control: my attitude, my effort, and my willingness to keep learning and growing.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's the right mindset, and those are things that, uh we have to be open-minded, and like you mentioned, I love what you say, that it wasn't going to be permanent, it's just temporarily,
Yes.
so we just have to face, what we do, and then eventually um we're gonna be able to. So we do have a comment here from Sylvia. So Sylvia Bridget Morton, she say hello, watching from Winnipeg. Yes, Ruby, so true. Faith is powerful. There you
Yes.
go. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Sylvia,
Thank
and
you,
thank you for
Sylvia.
watching. Okay, so the next question for you is, was there a setback that eventually became a lesson or blessing?
Yes, yes, there were times when I felt stuck or unsure if I was on the right path. But looking back, those moments became blessings because they pushed me to look for something more. Sometimes the setbacks we face are not meant to stop us, they are meant to redirect us. So they taught me to become stronger, wiser, and more open to new possibilities.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. I love your mindset.
That's always how I say it, like, say from your heart and you stick to it.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the next question for you is what role has faith, mindset, or personal belief play in your journey?
um, Faith and mindset have played a very big role in my journey. My faith reminds me that I am never alone, and my mindset helped me see challenges as opportunities to grow. I've learned that what we believe about ourselves matters. So when we believe that change is possible, we start taking actions that move us closer to the life we want.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So we talk about faith, we talk about mindset, and believe in yourself, and
Yes.
then you take action. So thank you for sharing those things. Okay, so one thing I have learned is that challenges often reveal strengths we never knew we had. So many times, we face those ones, and then we realize that, like, oh my God, I'm able to do this, and you thought that you couldn't. Your story is a great example of that, Ruby. I mean, you have shared so many uh, resilience, so many how you become, open-minded and overcome the challenges to be able to continue forward with you, for you and for your family. Like you mentioned, your family is a big why for you. Okay, so now we're going to be moving to segment three. So, family growth and leadership. So, let's dive into the first question. So, what has family taught you about resilience and perseverance?
uh, Family has taught me that gives you strength. So when you have people you care about, you find the courage to keep going, even when things are hard. My family reminds me why I need to keep going, and why I need to stay strong, and why I want to create more options for my future. Not only for my future, also, but for the whole family.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, and you go back to your why. So that's
Yeah.
it gives you that inspiration to keep moving forward besides all the challenges and obstacles you face in front. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, second question for you is what sacrifices have you made that people may not see?
Oh, people may see the results, but they don't always see the quiet sacrifices behind them. So they don't see the late nights, the early mornings, and the moments of doubt. Then the time we spent learning after work. So all the times I had to keep going, even when I'm felt tired already. A lot of growth happens privately before people see it publicly.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, and that's something that a lot of people many times only see the results, but they don't
Results.
see what you had to go through to be able to see those results. So thank you for sharing that. And I think we do have another comment here. Yolanda Kimura Bors, she say watching from California. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question is how do you continue growing while balancing responsibilities and caring for others?
I continue growing by being intentional with my time. I don't always have perfect balance, but I do my best to prioritize what matters. I make time to learn, to listen to trainings, connect with the mentors and coaches, and attending, like, we have the masterminds, we have daily drop-ins, we have Zoom meetings. So all the tools that we need to success, we have everything for that one. And then I've learned that growth doesn't always require huge actions. Sometimes it's the small, consistent habits that create the biggest changes.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Yes, well said. Also, you mentioned something important about balance.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes we plan something to be balanced, but it doesn't work that way. But like you mentioned, you see what is a priority for you and you go through that. So many times, sometimes, it will be the business, sometimes the priority will be more the family, and sometimes, it's going to be a balance of both. But yeah, it's we have to adjust. Again, goes back to the adapting and, balancing. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the next question is, what does leadership mean to you today?
Um, a leadership to me means serving others, leading by example, and helping people believe in what is possible for them. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about being willing to grow, share what you have learned, and encourage others along the way.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, that is true. So as a leadership, you always have to learn, because that's how, you're gonna be able to help others. So like you mentioned, share, sharing your knowledge with others. The other thing that you mentioned was that, you know a leader is not someone who is perfect. It's someone who also, has their failures, but it's not about uh with the failures that you have, but it's about how you bounce back. And that's when you become an inspiration to others, that, uh you're not perfect, but you know how to bounce back. And so they see you and they say, like, if she's able to do it, so can I. So you become that inspiration. And that's one of the qualities of a leader. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so leadership, often starts with the example we set through our actions, just like Ruby mentioned. And I know our audience can relate to many of the lessons you have shared today. So thank you for sharing that. Now we're moving to segment number 4, embracing new possibilities. So the next question is, what inspired you to step outside your comfort zone and explore new opportunities?
Um, what inspired me was the desire for more options in life. I realized that working hard is important, but also wanted to build something for my future. I wanted more flexibility, more growth, and more choices, not just for myself, but also for my family. That desire pushed me to step outside of my comfort zone and explore something different.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, yeah, it comes to a time in our lives where we realize, there's more out there than what we are currently doing, and we want to experience that too. But in order, like you mentioned, in order to experience that, you have to step out of your comfort zone. So, thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the next question is, what fears do you have when you first started something unfamiliar? So, what are those
Oh,
fears?
At first, I had many fears. I wondered if I was capable, if I could learn the skills, if people would judge me, or if I'm too late to start something new. But I learned that fear is normal when you are growing. So the key is not to wait, fear disappears. So the key is to move forward while learning along the way.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, because we all relate to what you share. Um, but like you mentioned, we in the only way to overcome that fear is by doing it, by taking action.
Yes,
And
yes.
as you continue doing that, that's how fear is gonna start disappear. And even like that, like even if it disappears once in a while, that fear is gonna come back. But the difference here is that you know how to overcome that fears.
Overcome, yes. Mm-mm.
Okay, so the next question is, what strengths have you discovered about yourself during your growth journey?
I discovered that I am resilient, courageous, and teachable than I thought. I learned that I can adapt, learn new skills, and keep going even when things feel uncomfortable. I also discovered my story can inspire others, that my voice has value.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, I strongly agree with you. This journey is a journey where we find ourselves, and like you mentioned, you discover yourself, that you have more resilience. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for inspiring the audience that are watching us today. Okay, so the next question is, what accomplishment are you most proud of today?
Oh, okay. One accomplishment I'm proud of is being the kind of person who is willing to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. I'm proud that I stepped into the digital business space while still balancing my responsibilities. And I'm proud of completing challenges, showing up consistently, growing my confidence, and now being able to encourage and mentor others who are also want more possibilities of their future.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So, growth often begins when we decide not to let fear make our decision for us, just like Ruby mentioned. So, thank you for sharing that perspective, Ruby. Now, we're moving to segment number 5, so wisdom for others. And the question is, what advice would you give to someone who feels stuck right now?
Um, my advice is don't let where you are today make you believe that this is where you will always be. So feeling stuck doesn't mean you have failed. It may simply means it's time to grow or explore a new direction. Start with one small step, and you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to begin.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Very good advice. Okay, so the second advice is, what would you say to someone who doubts their abilities to create change in their life?
I would advise that don't let where you are today to make um hold on, what's it again, Sandy? I was
Oh,
lost in the question.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so what would you say to someone who doubts their ability to create change in their life?
Oh, I would say don't underestimate yourself. Sometimes we think we need to be fully ready before we start, but readiness often comes after we take the first step. So you are capable of learning, growing, and becoming more than you think. So change doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen when you stay consistent and believe that your future can look different.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, very true. It's all about being consistent. Okay, so the next question is, um, if you could speak to your younger self, what would you tell her?
Uh, I will tell my younger self, be proud of how far you will go. Don't be afraid of challenges because they will shape your strength. So just keep have faith, keep dreaming, and never think that your current situation is your final destination. You are stronger than you know, and one day your story will encourage others.
Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. And hopefully, this could be also an inspiration to those younger audience that are watching you that get inspired by you. Okay, so the next question is, what legacy do you hope to leave to your family and future generations?
The legacy I hope to leave is the legacy of faith, courage, resilience, and possibility. I want my family and future generations to know that they can dream bigger, work with purpose, and create a life with more options. So I want them to remember that we don't have to be limited by where we started. With faith, action, and perseverance, more is possible.
Beautiful messages. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I have a power question for you. So, what is one belief that has helped you remain strong through life's challenges?
Um, One belief that has helped me remain strong is this: everything I go through has a purpose. Even when I don't understand the season, I believe that God is still guiding me always, shaping me and preparing me for something greater. So that belief helps me stay grounded, hopeful and strong even during the difficult times.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, and our last question for you. Um, if everyone watching today could remember one message from your story, what would you want the message to be?
Oh, okay. So the message I want people to remember is this: your story is not over. No matter where you started, what you've been through, or how stuck you may feel, there's still room to grow. There's room to change and create a new possibilities. So just keep your faith, keep learning, and keep taking one step forward. Because sometimes one decision can open the door you never expected.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a beautiful message. Okay, so we have arrived to the end. Um, and we do have some love emoji from Jolanda Kimura Boards and also like emoji from Mau Mau and Silver Bridget Morton. So thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
heart and love emojis. So, Ruby, thank you so much for sharing your story, your experiences, and your wisdom with us today. Your journey reminds us that growth doesn't happen overnight. It happens through the choices we make, the lessons we learn, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when life isn't easy. So, to everyone watching today, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And remember, your story matters, your challenges do not define you, and your next chapter is still being written. So we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day. And thank you, Ruby, for being with us today.
And thank you for having me, Sandy. It's my pleasure to be in your one of your guests.
Thank you so much. So, thank you, everyone. See you again on the next episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success with another story and another guest. Bye, everyone. God bless you
Bye,
all.
everyone. God bless you all.